The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, Brian Brown has his first stomp speech. How did he do? And did he make a good first impression to Golden Isles voters? Also, F&M MCM Jit Colmer giving advice to independent Andrew Blue Johnson. What did that conversation involve, I wonder? And also, later this evening, Fort Charlotte candidate Sebastian telling voters, stay the course. And tonight, in Week in Review Fridays, you know the story that's gone viral. The PMH nurse who shook things up this week. Was she in violation of employment agreements or a brave woman for speaking out? It's all straight ahead this evening. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's good to have you along this evening. Well, the Free National Movement brought the energy to Golden Isles last night as supporters packed the rally in the alley, cheering on their candidate ahead of the upcoming by-election, now just weeks away. Laurencia Smith was there and has the story.
Supporters of the Free National Movement dressed in their party colors, waving the party's flag and pom-pom, showing their support at the rally for the alley in the Golden Isles constituency Thursday night. The party's candidate, Brian Brown, contesting the seat in the upcoming by-election, told supporters he doesn't need politics to call him to serve. He says when the community calls,
when family needs help, Brian Berkeley Brown showed up.
Adding that he's never left the people of Golden Isles, even when he lost at the polls in 2021 to the late Vaughn Miller.
As an outsider, he don't live here, he don't know us, and he don't understand the community. He hasn't walked these streets or felt what we felt.
Miller's sudden death in September has triggered a by-election set for November 24th. It's now a four-way race in Golden Isles, with Darren Pickstock representing the Progressive Liberal Party, Brian Roll running for the Coalition of Independents, and Karen Kim Butler entering as an independent candidate. F&M leader Michael Pintard says he hopes the outcome of this by-election sends a strong message to the governing party.
They ought to be focused not on the small groups that they continue to empower. They've given $500 million plus in direct awards to big players without giving the rest of the population a chance.
With nearly 8,000 voters expected to head to the polls, observers are predicting a closely contested race. The party's deputy leader, Shannon Cartwright, says the people are tired of the promises.
People of Golden Isles are saying that they have had enough. This is a government that has been about promises, not policy. And I tell you, F&Ms and Golden Isles and Bahamians everywhere, this is a government that has been about the greedy and not the needy.
Southern Shore's candidate, Danilee Penn Mackey, Fort Charlotte candidate Travis Robinson, and Heather McDonald, who's contesting the Angliston seat, rallied behind the Golden Isles candidate, reinforcing his message to stay connected to the community.
You're gonna get just what West End got, a ton of neglect. And Golden Isles is not for sale. What we want, it can't be bought.
Golden Isles deserve better leadership and better representation.
In the 2021 snap election, Brown captured 1,844 votes. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, listen, of course, we saw that, and we in fact went live there last night as the rally was in action. I mean, going on and speakers hitting the stage with their supporters. But I'm going to bring in the panelists right now to hear their thoughts and views. I mean, the F&M out front, they are the first political party to have held a rally in the Golden Isles constituency ahead of the by-election. Of course, needing to make a great first impression, one as the first ones out the gate, and then, of course, hearing from Brian Brown in his first political stomp speech. And so we're going to get started right there this evening. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Leslie Miller, Garth Rosborough, and Howard Johnson. Gentlemen, good evening to all of you.
Good night, everyone.
Good
night.
Bahamas.
Good to be here.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, colleagues. Good evening, Bahamas.
Yes, listen, gentlemen, I know we all paid attention. We had to. It was the first rally in Golden Isles. Golden Isles has become the seat and the community, the constituency to watch as a result of this by-election. Your thoughts on how the FNM showed up, its first impression in terms of a rally stage and a rally event?
Well, first of all, I would say, because I live there and I will speak first on this matter, I want to thank Beyond the Headlines for allowing me to just simply inform the government and those associated that we needed this by-election. Now you understand why. The smooth roads, just like butter, heading all the way to the event last night. I was stuck in traffic for about a half an hour. There was a whole lot of energy, a whole lot of excitement. The attention definitely is on Golden Isles. We could have just simply circumvented the event last night. I could have gone beyond to the Bacardi roadside and come around, but everyone wanted to see, as we are, nosy Bahamians, wanted to see what was going on. And so I saw the crowd in the front. I saw the event happening in the back of the headquarters building. It was just simply an exciting time. And I said, you know what? A lot of great things are about to happen in Golden Isles for this by-election.
So
Thank you so much.
So Golden Isles is loving the attention.
We're loving the attention. I even got messages from the leaders of a political party that they're going to come to see me and take care of some matters. I'm telling you, the attention is there.
Wait a minute, Garth. Hold on now.
So happy.
Hold on.
I am just excited. I
What
feel like it's my birthday.
Political leaders are knocking on your door now?
Oh, man, they're on their way. Thank you, Jesus. I mean, I'm so happy for this attention. I mean, I'm going to get some things done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bahamas. I appreciate you.
So this is what, listen, got to be about more than getting things done, eh?
Oh, no,
Howard,
no, it's all about that. It's
that's
all
okay.
about that.
I hear you.
We don't in politics. Politics is all about getting things done. Don't talk it.
No, it's about getting things done. But Jesus, I want to hear more about where you taking the largest, or perhaps the second largest, or equally as large constituency in the Bahamas. But Howard, go ahead. Your thoughts on how the FNM showed up? They were first out the gate. They listen, first rally, first all this stuff in Golden Isles. Your thoughts on how that played out last night?
Yeah, so Shanique, I'm so happy to see that the FNM got out of the blocks and pulling off a big event. You know, the PLP has done quite a bit with their link-ups in recent months. And I was trying, I couldn't watch it live last night because, of course, I was flying from Barbados to Miami. And so when I got in and was in the airport waiting until 3 o'clock this morning to catch my flight to Tampa, I watched the rebroadcast, or I watched it replay on their Facebook page. And so I was able to go through the entire thing. But I know we're focusing on what Mr. Brown had to say. Now, there's several things I can say. The first thing is the FNM was very consistent through all of the speakers in what their messaging was and what exactly they were trying to say in terms of supporting Brian Brown and giving the people of Golden Isles the reasons behind why he should be elevated as their representative in Parliament. Now, specifically to Mr. Brown, in his speech, I noted several things that he said. He touted a litany of things as his record that he's running on. One, he said that he's been cleaning up the neighborhood. He said, two, he's restored the Coral Harbor Park. He has helped families with emergency relief and grocery assistance. That's number three. Number four, free BJC and BGCSE classes and homework assistance. And five, a job assistance program. That's an illustrative but not an exhaustive list. So I'm looking at that and I'm saying, hey, Mr. Brown, this is your record, you said, and this is what you're running on. What I find interesting, though, is there's a lot of criticism coming from that side about what Mr. Pickstock is trying to develop as his record. Now, clearly, he's not been around Golden Isles as long as Mr. Brown has been, but he is the candidate. The party has nominated him. The party is going with him. And so all of these nice roads that Garth and everybody else is talking about that he is being criticized for on the FNM side, that's his record through his party that has elevated him to be the person they want to represent them in Parliament. So I know that everybody's playing politics, but here's the thing, Brian Brown and the FNM, what you have to do is use what you say is your record against what the PLP is pushing with Mr. Pickstock and developing as his record. And you have to make sure that those people in Golden Isles who are not the party faithful believe that you can do a better job than Pickstock can at the end of the day. So you can't say he can't take credit for this, or he shouldn't take credit for this, or the PLP can't do this, or they can't do that. Everybody is touting their record. And if paving the roads and doing all of these other things and Darren's 10-point plan is what he's developing as his record, let's go pound for pound, mano y mano, and let's see who's going to convince the people of Golden Isles to send that guy to Parliament.
Very interesting insights. I passed there last night. Dave and I passed the headquarters where they had the rally. Had a pretty decent crowd there. Most of them came from elsewhere, as you could appreciate, because we found that most of the people that reside in that area don't really become too politically involved in the political process. For example, we spent last night down in Coral Harbour and Coral Lakes, the other areas, right? They have really little or no regard for rallies and what have you. Those people are just going on with their lives, trying to take care of their family and what have you. The enthusiasm for Mr. Pickstock is appreciated, but his problem is he needs to go and knock on them doors and let the people see him. I would admit that Mr. Brown seemed to have some connection with some people on some of the blocks that we went to. But I'll tell you what is interesting. A poll came out just this morning for Golden Isles by-election 2025. And it has here Brian Rule, 55%, Darren Pickstock, 35%, and Brian Brown, 10%. Now, who believed that? Obviously reside in ET, yeah?
I haven't seen that poll.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says, the poll says, and I want each of you to respond to it, the other two. So it says, for the Golden Isles by-election, Brian Roll has shown that 55% of the registered, roughly 8,000 voters of Golden Isles will give him their support. That Darren Pickstock will get 35%, and Brian Roll will get
Brian
10.
Brown.
Pardon me, Brian Brown, the one who just had the rally last night, will get, let me see, Leslie, 10% of the 8,000 votes there in Golden Isles. Garth, you first, and then Howard.
Well, I was hoping Howard went first. But you're the hostess, well, you just something else. I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. If you asked me to bet my life on
Who did that poll, by the way?
I mean, this is what I'm saying to you. That's why I wouldn't believe. See, what you're looking at, as much as people are speaking about a change coming, you're looking at a record. You're looking at a track record. The track record has never been a presence in the Golden Isles constituency for the leader in that poll. Even though he lives there, his strength has not been in Golden Isles. Their party strength has not been in Golden Isles. Their only party strength has been the leader everywhere he goes, and he goes talking everywhere on the microphone. No one else in the party speaks. Only he speaks. Maybe a chairman once in a while, maybe the deputy, but the only person in that party is the leader. So to say that Brian Roll is going to be in the forefront, I would say that has to be absolutely untrue.
Garbage.
In terms of the PLP and the Free National Movement, once again, depending on who actually put that poll together, that race is still left to be determined because, like Howard said, you're looking at one person with a record of being present for a period of time, but you're looking at the other one as being present in a very magnanimous way. I mean, in a way that I even have goosebumps right now because I just called him and said, man, I need these 2 trees in front of my yard cut, and we got a call right away. Those trees could be cut in short order. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some things done.
Wait a minute, now hold on. Look,
that's my poll. That's my poll.
Howard, do you have any apartment in Golden Isles? Because look, like I need to move there right now for a minute. I was thinking I needed to move in Fort Charlotte or maybe Michael, but it looks like
Golden. They talking to you,
No, don't tell the people. Don't tell the people the real story. Where I want to move. But Howard, your thoughts on that poll?
Well, Shanique, polling isn't an exact science, you know, and I see more and more where, for the purpose of elections, what we're doing is adopting a lot of the things that we see from our neighbor to the north, well, where I live in the United States, right? And we know that in most recent political history, as it relates to polling, the 2017 election had Hillary Clinton far and away winning against Donald Trump. And at the end of the night, everyone wanted to use the toilet on the Democrat side because Donald Trump won that election.
Even the most recent, the most recent U.S. election, the polling was garbage.
Exactly.
And I'm not trying to hit this one. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
I'm not going to put any real stock in that particular poll because of that, it not being an exact science, and depending on who's done the poll. If that poll was done internally by someone who favors the COI, then of course that polling is going to lean towards them. Here's the thing. I believe that if you look at the poll as, remember that it's this, it is a one-time, real-time snapshot of what is going on with the people who, what they're thinking, a sample, a random sample, it should be, of the people in that constituency at that one specific period of time, and then that's it. So tomorrow is a different day, the next day is a different day, and election day is a different day. So polling could change. What people need to do is exactly what Leslie said a few minutes ago. Boots on the ground, knock on those doors, and you have to convince those people that are not the party faithful, the silent majority. You have to convince those to give you the opportunity to go to parliament, because your people can vote for you in the PLP, in the FNM, and in the COI. It's those undecided, independent, and swing voters who have no allegiance to anyone that need the convincing.
Will FNM Deputy Leader Shannon... Yes, Leslie?
I was just going to cut him and he finished.
Go ahead, go.
These figures are so bogus. When I saw it, I said, this is another fool has just come again. The fight in that constituency is between Mr. Brown and Mr. Pickstock. I expect at the end of the day, Pickstock will probably pick up 60% of the votes. Brown will pick up about 35, and the COI will make me get my $500 back. They will give me my money back.
You wanted 500 back.
They can get 500.
I don't know if you were here for that bet, but Leslie bet me. What was the number you said, Leslie? Leslie,
and you will not get 500.
No. Leslie first told you 300.
No.
And then he went to 5. I was listening. He went to 300 first, and then he looked at you and said, you know what? 500.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
I remember the bet.
Listen, and what was the number? No, Leslie is
500.
wrong. Howard, guess. So here's what he said. Leslie said the COI.
The COI will not get more than 300 votes, and then he said 5.
He said not get more than 500 votes.
Back.
And so he bet me 500. I already hold in the 500.
Yes.
I say, Leslie.
We already spent the 500 too.
That same part. I say that same part right there.
The woman is spent money quick.
I say, Leslie, no, sir. The COI will get more than 500 votes.
You think so?
Yes, they will.
Not in this lifetime.
That remains to be seen. Meanwhile, gentlemen, get this one though. FNM Deputy Shannon Dawn Cartwright contest St. Barnabas? Of course, that is the seat that he first won in 2017 and successfully defended in the last election. Well, Cartwright isn't saying just anything yet. Now, we all know he is a part of the Boundaries Commission, and he's been making that known. Speaking with Eyewitness News last night outside that rally, he said he'll make a final decision on whether he'll run in St. Barnabas or elsewhere once the Boundaries Commission releases its official report, a move that could shift constituency lines ahead of the 2026 general election. His comments come amid months of speculation over whether he'll seek renomination in St. Barnabas.
Because the reality of it is, the way this process works is that a decision is going to be made relative to changes across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and we don't want to preempt what that decision will be. And then political parties will make decisions accordingly. Been committed to the people of St. Barnabas. We know that politics at times causes changes to happen in the boundaries. They've made proposals that will include changes to a number of seats. So we're waiting to see that fortified. To the people of St. Barnabas, but what I will say is when the changes happen and when they do happen and if they happen, I will make a decision and share that with the people of St. Barnabas.
I'll get their responses right after the break on what Cartwright had to say. This is Beyond the Headlines. Stay exactly where you are. We're back after this.
As a resident of Golden Isles for the past 22 years, I've lived there, served as the chairman for the constituency for the past 11 years. I know the needs, I know the infrastructure needs, I know the needs that the people in Golden Isles need. I drive through there every day. Some of the needs is the healthcare system, the environment. We're looking at it, safety in terms of the police presence being in the constituency on a daily basis. And so I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get Golden Isles up and running and making sure that it's be the best constituency in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. My name is Brian Berkeley Brown from the great constituency of Golden Isles. I'm asking that you lend me a vote so I could work for you.
Ever feel like you're missing your own life because you're constantly running off to the bathroom? Do bladder leaks or pelvic discomfort have you up at night and affect your confidence in everyday life? Those days are over. At Frequency Vitality Center, we offer a solution. Completely painless, fully clothed with no downtime. Perfect for men and women of any age, we help strengthen the pelvic floor muscles while you sit comfortably, improving bladder control, decreasing night waking, and much more. Strengthen your foundation and restore your confidence.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a Dave's single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
Running out of space? We've got room for that. Welcome to Skyline Storage, your trusted self-storage solution. Skyline Storage offers units from 5x10 to 10x30, climate controlled or standard dry. Perfect for home or business. Located in Westfield Commerce Park, Western New Providence. Your belongings stay safe with gated access and 24/7 surveillance starting at $175 a month. Reserve, pay, and move in online. No phone calls, no paperwork. Visit SkylineStorage.com. Skyline Storage. Storage made simple.
Are you ready, Bahamas? Get up, get moving, and join us at IL Fit Fest. Saturday, November 15th at the University of the Bahamas Playing Field. From 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., we're talking a variety of fitness vendors, free health screenings, and $10,000 in giveaways. And for the kids, we have a kids zone. And entry is absolutely free. Don't miss the IL Fit Fest.
Beyond the Headlines is now introducing powerful TV advertising opportunities made just for you. Choose our television ad package, 20 30-second ads for $2,000 or 20 60-second ads for $2,500 plus VAT. Prefer flexibility? Go a la carte. Just $150 for a 30-second ad or $200 for a 60-second ad. Step into the spotlight with our interview package. 1 15-minute interview for $500 or 4 for $15 per month. Or bring Beyond the Headlines directly to you with our live on location package, only $2,600 plus VAT. For more information, contact our sales agent at 242-466-6173.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you all tuned in. Of course, this is Week in Review Fridays. We are talking about really the F&M first rollout officially in Golden Isles last evening when the party held its out the gate first of any other political organization with their rally in the alley last evening. We're talking about the deputy leader, though, Shannon Cartwright, who has continued to hint around, one, that he's not seeking a re-election in St. Barnabas. In fact, he's really hopeful, as a member of the Boundaries Commission, he's hopeful for one of those newly created seats in that same Golden Isles, Killarney area. Gentlemen, your thoughts about the fact that Cartwright seems to be really tunnel vision in getting one of those nominations there?
Well, we're looking at a security issue in terms of securing a victory for the upcoming general election. And the question mark as to whether he would be able to be victorious in St. Barnabas has brought a big question mark. Not that he's not performed well in the past or been liked in the past, but what is now in question is, can he survive in these economic times with the people, with the nature of that in St. Barnabas? What is familiar to him, though, is one of the homesteads of his family in Mount Pleasant Village, which is in the Clifton area. Yep. And you can see that he would probably be more preferable there. It's a F&M stronghold under Kendall Wright, I think it was, back in the day. And I do believe that he feels not only secure there, but he believes that if he survives there, if his other colleagues were to fall down, then look at who survives and who leads the Free National Movement. And so if you look at the leadership very quickly, we've not heard anything from the chairman as to where he would run. And as for the leader himself, I thought they missed a great opportunity last night, Shanique Miller, to at least name 3 or 4 other candidates for the Free National Movement. I don't know who is strategizing for them, but definitely they need some help and assistance in consultation. Howard, you there?
Howard, you're muted. You're muted.
Yes, sorry, Shanique. I feel like it is a very ominous sign when no less than your deputy leader and your chairman are looking around and seeking to cherry pick where they're going to run in the next general election. Now, Leslie can validate this for me, right? Because I'm going to go back in history real quick. In the 1992 general election, I was a young boy, right? I was a teenager. Now, at that time, though, I have heard from many people that the F&M was short of a victory. They knew they were going to win. The PLP at that time, after 26 years, was out of gas. Anybody who ran for the F&M, for the most part, if the candidate for the F&M in the Governor's Harbor constituency, who was Alvin Smith at the time, had run in Malcolm Creek in Nassau, he pretty much knew that anywhere that he would have gone, he probably would have won a seat, even though he didn't win that seat against Philip Bethel. In 1973, had anybody from the PLP, 72, had anyone from the PLP ran, knowing that they had consolidated the power from the electorate, they knew that the PLP was going to run on that pre-independence mandate, and they were going to get in power, right? Now, when we look at the 2026 election that's upon us, when the upper echelon of your party leadership is jockeying for seats and trying to reposition themselves to see where they could run, that is an ominous sign, in my opinion, and you are not very confident that you can win where you were or that your party can win at the polls. And so for me, Shannon Dawn is making a fundamental error because you are on the Boundaries Commission that is controlled by the PLP party, right? What make you think, my brother, the PLP party or the PLP government is inclined to cut a seat to your benefit, and you are the opposition member on that Boundaries Commission? Man, let me tell you something. Political strategy prevailing, I would cut a sweet seat out of Mount Pleasant and Adelaide and put all them PLP boundaries inside that seat and 1 or 2 F&M boundaries in there and crush him. You see, that's what I would do if I was the PLP, because you can't say the PLP can do what you want, brother. It don't work like that.
That's a very interesting observation, but over the years, I say over the last 30, 40 years, what has happened in the Bahamas with these boundary changes? I always tell people, you can cut the lines, but you can't change the minds. Every time you straighten up one area, you weaken the other area. And I've seen it over and over and over again over the last 40 years. It's a dumb thing to do.
Agreed.
You would go after a fella, so I got to take him out. Then you weaken 2 other areas, and the guy grabbed 2 from you, but you get the one, you take him one out. I think the dilemma here with the F&M now and the top echelon, with the 3 leadership positions there, is really a cantankerous one, because you have the leader who's going to be pushed heavily in Freeport in his seat. That's going to cut and see what happens there, because you don't forget West End is going to be taken out by itself. I mean, you got to come back to the East End. So they'll try to see how much damage they can do to him. Then you got Mr. Sands. He don't know where he's going to go because he's gotten beat, must be about 3 times. Wherever you send him, he get beat. So he's looking for a safe seat. Then you got the good gentleman from St. Barnabas, knowing that Mike is going to take him out. He would like to go in the same seat out west that Sands wants. Because whoever loses has no more say in the F&M.
That's correct.
You see, all these guys' political career are now on the line. The same thing with Mr. Brown and Picksock. If Picksock lose, you know he can be renominated for no PLP seat out there, right? That's a goner, so he gone.
If anyone loses.
And if Brown loses, the F&M can go with him. The only 6 months wait. I told some people last night, I said, Mr. Miller, if I vote for this man, I don't know him. I think the beauty of it is, in 6 months, you can get his ass out of there. He'd be gone. So give him 4 to 6 months. If he doesn't do the job, you send him home.
Yep.
You got 6 months to vote for him, vote him in and vote him out. I said, that's the chance you all got to take. But I would prefer, I believe that Picksock is going to make a good MP. He got some work to do and a short time to do it. So like I told him, I said, my brother, you got to be on the road 24/7. You got to walk to win. And if you believe you can hang out with these fellas in any club or go on any field to win, you can get the surprise of your life.
Well, listen,
walk to win.
I want to, Ali McIntosh said this week, this is Week in Review, and we're going to move on, but I just want to get your, speaking of walk to win, I just feel like are we going to shift this a little bit in the Bahamas in terms of having to necessarily knock on every door? But she said, listen, enough of this boundaries commission, enough of this, just this splitting boundaries or even increasing.
So how do you correct it then?
She said, enough of that. It's too much of the Bahamian people's money. I don't know, because with constituencies that, number one, population shift and population growth, I'm not sure what she's recommending, because again, it truly, minimum 8,000, because that's just 8,000 registered.
Yeah, you got a lot of
Perhaps
people.
15,000 people, 20,000 people live now in that area.
You mean
how is one
that
person
along with Minnesota?
Well, Minnesota is different, yeah.
I'm saying those two together.
So the thing is, how is one man or woman to properly serve the area as our system, which is under the Westminster system, is currently made up of? Your thoughts on what she said this week?
Let me give an example. In the 1987 elections, Blue Hills started from Gladstone Road, went to East Street, all the Carmichael Road, and all the Harrow Road back to John F. Kennedy Drive. That was the biggest area in New Providence at the time. But it's not that difficult. If you make up your mind that you want to be a good MP, you'll get the job done. Visit all the constituents. If you see a lot, got to clean down, do the work that is necessary to enable you to have the best of your constituents within you, that they can say you're doing a good job. The geographical thing is a little difficult, but you can do it. You got to make up your mind that you got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of sacrifices to make on the weekend. I mean, I spent every weekend in my constituency when I was there. And it hurts your family, don't get me wrong. Okay? You got to decide whether you can be with the boys on Friday and Saturday, or whether you can go over there and do the job for your constituents. If you continue to neglect them, especially on Saturday, you'll be gone. So all of these young fellas who running, and some who are in Parliament now, some of them could be gone. Because I'm telling you, I am very concerned about the mindset of the average Bahamian. I don't know how the hell we can vote right now. I figure in January, I'll give you a better idea. But right now, everybody's shifting saying, well, I know what I can do. I can see.
And that's what I'm saying. Does that work? Is the average Bahamian even interested in seeing you knock on their door versus, as Garth is saying?
Yes.
Understand what the average Bahamian want to see now. We are evolving. But one second, Howard. They want to see what Garth is saying. You ain't got to come sit with me and eat corned beef and white rice. Get the work done in the constituency.
Well, they want to see your face.
Make life better. Why? But go ahead, Howard.
They want to see you.
So, Shanique, two things. And the first thing is this. For one constituency to have 8,000 voters and another constituency to have 3,000 voters plus, like as is the case in Central and Southern New Hampshire.
Is about 5,500.
Right. So what I think should happen is this, right? We have to make sure that the representation is fair and equitable. Exactly. I agree to a large extent with what Leslie said. But if you have one constituency with 3,000 voters, and I know the average, Leslie said, is 55. But you have you have 5,500 and then you have 8,000. That is not equitable representation. Your representative
No.
in one constituency is not working as hard or as equitably as in another constituency. So we have to bring parity, right?
Yes.
Like in the United States. Here in the United States, there are 435 representatives in the House of Representatives. And each one of them has a constituency or a district that is 650,000 people,
Yep,
almost
minimum.
750,000 people.
Yeah.
And they try to maintain that parity because they want one representative to be representing the same amount of people. That is equity, that is fair, and that
agree
is
with you. The
balanced.
land
I
mass
think we need to
shouldn't
do
involve.
something like that in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Now, quickly, as far as coming and knocking on people's door, I live in the city of Tampa in Hillsborough County, and I'm represented by a mayor, I'm represented by a state representative, I'm represented by a city councilman, I'm represented by a county commissioner, I'm represented by a congressperson, state
Governor,
senator,
all
all
that,
these things,
all
right?
that.
I've never seen any of them.
Not a
I've
one,
never,
not a one.
ever seen any of them in
Right.
my life. Ever in my life.
That's
But you know what
because
it is that
they
happens here
spend
in
so much
America?
money on media. In the States,
they
media
have- yes.
wins the
But
election.
that's what we need to
Media wins the
get.
election.
That's what we need to get
Yeah,
because
media wins the election.
all
This is what we
he
need
is
to get.
saying, all he want to make sure that everything around him and everything is working well
Yeah,
and what needs to be done is done.
See,
We haven't
and
reached
here's
that
why
point
that-
of maturity
Here's why
yet.
that happens. Because, see, they're representing us, so we have the representative democracy part. What we don't have and we need to develop more in the Bahamas is the participatory democracy side. And what that is, if the MP is coming to my door, if I want to see him, child, I see him, and I see him, so I vote
Oh,
for him.
yeah.
If everybody thinks like that and everybody wants to see him or her, then when they get time to do your work. So here's what we need to do. Participatory democracy means you have to sometimes get out of yourself and go to where these people are to have that conversation, to make your contribution to what you want to see. Every MP has office hours. They have community events. They are constituency meetings. You need to go there and do your part too. It ain't just he need to come to
But
my
remember
door
now.
or she need to come to my door.
Remember.
Because guess what? Bahamians are aggressive when they need to be.
Oh,
I
yes.
saw last night that there's going to be a Barris Hammond and Taurus Riley Valentine's Day concert February 14, 2026. You better believe everybody who is a Bahamian who want to go there, they can get together with their friends and buy their VIP box. They can buy their new outfits. They can aggressively
Already
pursue
planning.
everything
Already
they need
planning.
to do to go to that concert.
Yes.
But you, and as a citizen, the highest duty you have as a citizen to your country, you ain't aggressive enough to go to your MP office, to go to a constituency meeting, to go to a constituency event and seek out your MP to say, look, this is what we need in our community. Come on, man, it's
But
ridiculous.
mind you, now bear in mind, in the last general election of the United States of America, President Trump had over 1 million people on the ground.
He did.
Going door to door. Paid for by Musk with over $100 million and others. You know, but
Yes.
listen, when I go door to door, like, I'll head up there tonight. People say, you talk and talk, say, well, I see the MP yet, or the supposed be MP, when I can see him, when he come and here to me. It's a difficult task, but it's a mindset. I want to see what the fella look like. I want to ask him something, because I don't know him. And that goes for both candidates. Because only a fool would believe that Brown would have known everybody that constituency. Can't happen, could never happen. Where he lived, in that little area, he would know the people on those blocks. But he ain't know the people who live in the east, the west, the north, and the south. So it's always a little area that you say, well, he's been in there for 5 years. 5 years where?
Gentlemen,
he was not the MP, so it doesn't necessarily do that.
Gentlemen, what do you
And
make
it
of
wasn't
this?
that.
Let's move along. Let's move it along. What do you make of this? This same part right here. FNM MCM, Jit Culmer, sat earlier today with Freetown independent aspirant Andrew Blue Johnson. We know now Jit has been very outspoken.
Yeah, he's
Jit has appeared even on this show, apparently giving him some shrewd political advice. What do you all think that's about? And what do you make of it in terms of how significant it is
the
for?
FNM fellow who they sent there. Probably a personal matter.
Well, I look at it like this. Kendall Jet Culmer is a man who has walked with successor.
Oh, yeah.
From the beginning of the Free National Movement, he was in the trenches with those guys. When I was in the FNM, the 2 times I was a ratified candidate in the Free National Movement, I can say without fear of contradiction, without shame, that Jet Culmer sought me out and gave me wise counsel many times and encouraged me and gave me support. So I know this man personally, and I know what he means to the FNM. To see him sitting with Andrew Blue Johnson, and I'm not surprised that he's mentoring younger people. He did it to me. I'm not surprised at that. But what I'm saying is, it speaks volumes that this man, a man of his caliber, is sitting with. And sure, he hasn't endorsed him, and he doesn't have to, but the optics speaks volumes when there is a ratified FNM candidate already in that constituency, but he is sitting with the supposed independent candidate in the very same constituency. That speaks volumes to me, Shani. It speaks volumes.
And he's a
it's
good
troubling
man.
for the FNM.
It's a very good man.
If you look at the history of the relationship, Jid Culmer is a very dear friend of Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis.
Yeah.
He's a general, if you may say so, a great support to him. And as Dr. Minnis is now sitting in Kalani, prepared to run independent as an FNM as we know it, it doesn't surprise me if he's sitting with Blue Johnson over in Freetown. Now, let me tell you how that dynamic works.
Excellent point.
It was Mr. Lincoln Deal who was contesting Kalani against Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis.
Excellent point.
So for the challenge going up against Dr. Minnis, Jill has taken the fight from Kalani over now to Freetown to say, you know what, Blue, I'm with you. And so we're going to see some insurgents, we're going to see some independent individuals rising up saying, you know what, I am for you. And this is the issue that the Free National Movement is going to have to solve. As they are working, as they say, for everyone, they need to work on themselves and unite their party.
But you know what I'm finding as I go door to door, Dave and I, people are still angry as hell with the leader of opposition when they got rid of Minnis, Minnis has some good support out there among FNMs, He did some good things for them. I'm high over few they are. And they never mentioned the current leader's name. They said the fellow who took over. So there's still a lot of animosity between very many FNMs. I'd say about 30 to 40% of FNMs in this country don't want no part of Pintard. They are Minnis people. And I think he's going to cause them Delhi come the general election. Very Delhi.
When we come back, Sebas Bastian, the candidate, the PLP's, listen, now you all can't say a thing tonight. We have spoken about the FNM throughout I just realized this entire show. So when we come back, Justin, I hope we have 15 minutes because I want to get to Sebas and I also want to get to the nurse. But when we come back, Sebas is saying, listen, hey, hold up everybody. Before you get too excited about everything around you, stay the course. We're back right after this.
The Bahamas is the premier destination for fly fishing because of its unique geography.
We've got the third largest barrier reef in the world in the Bahamas.
We have the largest aggregation of mangroves in the Western Hemisphere.
Which simply means we've got the largest marine biodiversity than anywhere else in the world.
I am unapologetic about Bahamians being owners in our #1 industry.
We should not just say, we should have it enacted into certain policies.
The Bahamas Fly Fishing Industry Association was instrumental in the 2017 sports fishing legislation. Anyone fishing in the Bahamas who's going to be guiding has to be certified and licensed, and thirdly, they have to be a Bahamian.
And that is historic in that a model of conservation and a model for Bahamianization has been legislated, the only one in the country.
But it also gives Bahamians the opportunity with a sense of pride to know that at the end of the day, I'm contributing to the development of my country and something they can pass on for generations.
The out island of Bahamas, there are no other alternative industry that generates the kind of revenue that fly fishing does. The entire community benefits.
I would always encourage the tourists, people who want to fish, hire a local guide.
The guides in the Bahamas are some of the best trained fly fishing guides in the world. You know it because you see the results in terms of the kinds of fishing they're doing. They're catching the largest bonefish, the largest tarpon, largest permit. That is unique. So this is the lure to all the anglers internationally coming who thinks of the Bahamas as #1 destination for fly fishing and saltwater.
I'm really excited about this initiative that SPTC has brought forth for the fishermen.
If you have great guides and terrible boats and engines and nothing working and all this, you could be the best in the world.
and people still have a terrible experience because they could not have a good day on the water.
I think one of the greatest things is to have access to quality capital, but not only having access to the capital, but terms and conditions related to the capital, so we encourage growth and expansion of the industry and professionalism within the industry because of the resources being at hand and having proper guidance.
It'll be a greater impact and they'll have a better experience.
And I foresee it being an opportunity that the guys are taking advantage of in terms of the opportunities for education, awareness, and resources. You always need to advise people, inform them, and then equip them. And so I think this process is essential because it allows those skill sets that are needed in a changing economy and environment, how they could then keep up with operating their small business.
Beyond the Headlines is now introducing powerful TV advertising opportunities made just for you. Choose our television ad package, 20 30-second ads for $2,000 or 20 60-second ads for $2,500 plus VAT. Prefer flexibility? Go a la carte. Just $150 for a 30-second ad or $200 for a 60-second ad. Step into the spotlight with our interview package. One 15-minute interview for $500 or 4 for $15 per month. Or bring Beyond the Headlines directly to you with our live on location package, only $2,600 plus VAT. For more information, contact our sales agent at 242-466-6173.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
You know, Justin, I'll tell you this. I told you I needed the video with Dr. Minnis dancing, Keith Bell dancing, Dr. Fox dancing. It was somebody else dancing that we talked about earlier this week, but that's okay. Just hold on to those things because we have a lot to get to, and more people dance, the more we talk about it. Because who got the rhythm, eh? So listen though, tonight a political newcomer is urging residents to not change course midstream. Serial entrepreneur Sebastian is speaking to the voters of the nation, saying that while it is their choice and their democratic right to choose and vote for whom they wish, he's advising them, though, to stay the course. Here's Jose Etienne with the story.
Then it's necessary for us to go 2 terms as a country. We have racked up so much deficit and missed opportunities and prosperity based because we keep resetting.
And by changing the horse midstream, Bastian believes residents could be doing themselves a disservice, sending the nation backward.
The progress that is being made, though all of the things that we set out to do are not quite done yet, we've done a lot, we have a lot more to go. We have to invest and vote into progress. This is about progress, and this is about continuing what has been started, all of the hard work, the heavy lifting. We can't go in that stop, repeat and cancel cycle.
But the reality is, since 2012, the country has been stuck in an electoral cycle where governments have not been voted in, but rather kicked out of office. Political commentators argue that aside from 1997, when the Free National Movement won back-to-back, the last time the electorate voted in a political party was in 2007, when former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram won the election shortly after returning as leader of the Free National Movement. History shows that the electorate didn't seem quite convinced about a Tommy Turnquest-led FNM, which political pundits believe had a consequential impact on the 2002 general election. And to Bastian's point about continuity, it remains a concern that's amplified by political differences on the National Development Plan. It's what the Plan Steering Committee's chairman, Felix Stubbs, sums up as, quote, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Draft legislation to place the plan on a legal footing is expected by end November, and officials believe it's central to locking in progress that won't be derailed by electoral outcomes. Nonetheless, Bastian is forthright about his position.
There's only one way this election should go if we want a better Bahamas, and that's PLP all the way.
And so, of course, you saw that story there by Jose Etienne and Sebastian. Of course, he is the PLP's candidate for Fort Charlotte, urging people, saying, listen, stay put and watch this all unfold under another Davis administration or second term for a Davis administration. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, I'm just holding my breath, Shanique Miller. I'm just watching this race. Two brilliant young Bahamian men. We oftentimes cast men down in today's society, but here we have an example of two of them, as Howard said earlier, Hermano, Imano. So I'm just very interested to see if the young Travis Robinson still has the giant killer in him, or if the giant will prevail. And we must be honest with ourselves. We're expecting great things from Sebastian, but if it's Travis Robinson, we're looking for him to step up his game if he's to be victorious.
So, Shanique, with Sabaz asking the Bahamian people to stay the course with the PLP government, I mean, it's very interesting, and that's what he has to say. I've heard the Prime Minister say it. The Deputy Prime Minister has indicated it over and over in recent months. And it's interesting that from the 2002 election and every election cycle up to now, every one of those governments, both FNM and PLP, that were going to the polls, asked the Bahamian people to give them another term. And you're supposed to, because you want continuity. In the last 5 elections, every government in the Bahamas has asked for continuity in government, stay the course, and keep us. Now, the referendum rulers are the Bahamian people, and they did not give the past 5 governments in a row a second term. And so I believe that Sabaz is simply echoing what he knows that everyone else has asked, and he understands the history that is on the line. And the PLP has to get another term to continue the work that they have touted, that they have been doing, and the FNM wants to come up and replace them. So Sabaz, he can't say anything different, and he shouldn't say anything different, because they want another term in government, and this is what you have to do. And say, nothing new here.
You know, Mr. Ingram was fortunate. He served 2 terms straight, 92, 97. He was the king, really, on top of his game. And around about 2000 is when the people made a break from him. I'll never forget, I was talking to him. The big boys was coming down on him so hard that you give them a loaf of bread today, then they want a damn bakery tomorrow. You give them new legislation today, then they want something else tomorrow. And he got tired of them. He said, listen, man, enough is enough. And then the tides turned. And then people decided that he'll have to go. But it's been 30 years now since the last government, Mr. Ingram, was served 2 times. I believe Mr. Davis has done enough himself now. One thing is in his favor. There's no great hate against him. And I witnessed that, you know. After a while, Bahamians get to dismiss you, and they start to have hate for you. They still have love for Mr. Davis. And he got to make some changes along the way, which I think he's prepared to do. Certainly, if he were to win the government again, he got to make some necessary changes that people will demand of his cabinet and some of the members of parliament. But he has this spirit, this love in him for regular poor Bahamians, I call the pot cakes, which makes up 65% of the electorate.
You may not know this, because while you were in Golden Hours last night, of course we know the FNM had their rally. I understand that The Prime Minister was also in Golden Isles last night.
Okay. That's correct.
And there were, Garth knows that there are pictures.
And he was in the
pictures
plaza.
and I understand pictures with him with F&Ms.
He was in the plaza
Yeah.
at the establishment there.
Right.
And they had a big function there. And of course, all the other ministers in the PLP were invited to meet them there.
Yeah.
And they had a big gathering last night. It wasn't celebratory. It was simply investigative. And the PLP left some 5-10 minutes afterwards when Brian Brown arrived. And that's how that went last night.
So the pictures with him with the F&Ms, what was that about?
Oh, yeah, that was all about him arriving there at that particular time. I was astonished myself. But the news in Golden Isles was that, the F&M had taken over the establishment in the plaza, and that the PLPs need to now show up, and so all the PLPs flocked there to say, hey, we're here too. This is our territory as well. So it's just a standoff. That's what it really was.
Okay.
Yeah, but the qualities of Philip Brave Davis is that he's a regular fella.
Maybe too regular, Leslie. Maybe too regular.
Went to school, just regular. You know all the fellas on the blocks. And people have this confidence that he's going to look out for their best interest, especially the small man. Like I say, the potcakes make up 65% of the electric in this country. And anybody, I always call him the go-to man. Whenever you have a problem, you go to Brave, he can help you out to get it done.
Yeah, Mr. Miller, they say that, right? But remember now, right here on Beyond the Headlines, for 3 years we've been asking what's going on with the government. And then we had some debacles going on. There are some issues that need to still be addressed. And you did say that just now.
Yes.
And so I just want to remind everyone once again, you got to fix these issues. And I know Shanique is very, very soft when it comes to Grand Bahama. We want to see Grand Bahama explode. We got goosebumps right here. Shanique was like, Garth, we need to fly over there and see this for ourselves.
Garth, you must understand that I spoke with Grand Bahama just this week. I'm just waiting to hear more because, again, it's areas that I follow up on consistently. Grand Bahama, Mycal, Abaco. And that's it. I follow up on these islands to see what they're doing, what's happening there. And so you're quite right. I followed up just this week on Grand Bahama.
We won't really get the true temperament of the Bahamian people until January, when the election cycle really kick off for the full election campaign.
You mean after
this
Christmas?
is a by-election, and these two men are lucky that all of their colleagues are out there campaigning for them.
Okay.
Now, once it's over, it come after the 24th, my brothers, you're on your own. Every dog for himself. If you think some group will be out there with you or FP, forget it. That's when real life can hit you. And now you got to prove your work to yourself.
You could stand on your own.
Let me tell you, on your own.
Golden Isles, we got to get it now. Let's get it.
Mr. Davidson got to be in Cat Island, making sure he fight the retainer seat. And every other member of parliament could be hustled like hell. So they ain't have no time to come walk with you like we doing now. That ain't gonna happen.
Shanique knows it's true.
That ain't gonna happen. So you
very true.
Thank God for what you all do get now. But come January, you're on your own.
Yeah, man, after this
And
election.
Shanique, I know God say you can't be too regular, but listen, you have to be regular. Let me tell you why.
Got to be.
Now, I ain't say you got to sit under the tree now.
No, don't sit under the tree and chew gum.
But
Don't
here's
do
what
that.
I'm saying. Regular is what got Andrew Holness elected to
Yep,
an
regular.
unprecedented
But I'm not talking about that regular how it
Regular.
Yes.
That's a fellow on the block.
All over the place. If you look at this man's social media, he was all over the place.
Yes.
All over
On the block.
Anywhere and
On the
everywhere.
blocks.
Regular gets you
Regular.
another turn, brother.
But mind you, let me say this. Many MPs who in parliament now, they don't know how to be regular.
That is true.
Many of them, they were never regular. They don't know what regular is. Regular is a fellow who born on the blocks, grew up on the blocks with the fellas.
But I don't know.
Got opportunity to go to school, you got an education, you got a good job.
Leslie, I don't
That got to
support
be in you. That's a part of you.
Everybody cannot sit under the tree and come from that and chew gum and swat mosquitoes.
Listen, man, you got to be regular.
The Bahamas is made up of all of us. And
I
so
said many of them don't know how to be regular.
But some of them may not know what that is.
Okay.
We got to make room for everyone.
No, you want to make room for everyone.
Yeah,
but who make up the masses?
Yeah, but
the average Bahamian.
And you reach to them to lift them up.
Okay.
But you don't have to
But
go
be
and
regular,
be able to relate to the fact that you're regular and so we all sitting under the tamarind tree together and talking those stories.
You both have a great point, a very good point. But Shanique, we didn't even get to our nurse.
We didn't get to the nursing story because Justin has told me that I must write. Listen, I said this. And I know we have some human resources persons who studied and experienced here on this panel tonight. I am saying this, Joe. The nurse never told one lie, but that nurse should have gone through various channels, including her union, to get that out about the working conditions there. We will revisit this topic about Princess Margaret Hospital, absolutely. And again, I will say that is why I am a proponent of a new hospital, because when that new hospital is built, you turn around to see how you can salvage certain areas of the Princess
And
Margaret
let's hope
Hospital.
that Bahamians get an opportunity to full it. Hello? You know them women who we got? Like when they go to the have babies or have something taken care of, you don't see this long damn line. Everybody has but our people.
They ain't having children.
That y'all better start. Oh, you're too old.
I'm gonna look forward to that show on Monday.
And I'm finished. I'm over the hill, so forget the.
Leslie, you sure you over the hill?
I got trouble the draw baby now.
But it's good to see Howard back from Barbados. Howard, welcome back.
Yeah, man, welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be back with you
didn't make no
guys. Happy
babies
to
that
be
day,
back.
Howard.
No, sir. No,
Good,
sir.
good man. Good man.
Beyond the headlines, listen, I thank you all so much for being here. It's good to have you all hang out this entire week with me, including you, Leslie, including you. Yeah, you sure you ain't making baby? You sure of that?
Always appreciate Leslie.
Yeah, Howard, it's good to see you again.
Keep an eye on me now, 'cause I know more than them.
Have a great weekend for the entire team. I'm Shanique Miller. Have a blessed weekend, everyone.